back, everybody. It's time now for Better Fitness. Everybody has their daily routine, but what are some good things to add to your evening routine?
Yeah, Taylor Bidmead from Fitness Together has 3 healthy habits to get into, because it's so true. What we do the night before sets us up for success the next day, right?
Absolutely. You really got to put together a plan to set yourself up the next day, especially if you're trying to fit in a workout.
You know, it's so funny because I do make a daily plan, but I don't really think I concentrate too much on the evening plan, although I have the same set things that I do over and over. So I guess I am in a routine in the evening.
Now, do you do your daily planning in the evening, or do you do it in the morning?
In the evening.
Yeah, that's one of our healthy habits.
I do all my planning in the evening because I don't have time in the morning.
Right. Well, that's the thing. You're going to be running. So, and you were really running, but most of us are. So the first tip is you say you have to be consistent, and especially with the bedtime.
So where people tend to struggle, that I've noticed, is on the weekends. They get out of their rhythm. So they have to get up early for work Monday through Friday. But then when the weekend comes, they might stay up a little bit later than they normally do. And then they're sleeping in a little bit later on Saturday. So then by the time Monday comes around, it's more challenging to get up in the morning. So what happens is you'll actually throw off your circadian rhythm. Yeah. So you want to kind of get into the habit and let your body know when it's time to release that melatonin at night.
So if I have to go to a public appearance, let's say at 8 o'clock at night on a Thursday, I'm done. I mean, like, my whole week is... Can I make up that sleep somewhere else, or it's not...
You can't save sleep.
You can't save sleep.
You can't save it. There's no bank of it. You can't get 9 hours the night before and then get 4 the next night and it balances out. Your brain doesn't work that way.
Okay.
I know we all love to sleep in on the weekends, but it doesn't really help us, they say. Okay. I'm so wired to get up early now with the kids and everything. So I get up, but I love on the weekends that I don't have to run somewhere. So that's my treat, is like you can at least sit. But all right, so number 2, you want to plan the next day.
Yeah.
Like you're doing, reviewing your calendar and all that. You have to know, like, oh, don't wake up and go, oh my gosh, I forgot I have to do this today.
Right. So one of the things that I like to do is set out my clothes.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I have to do it.
Yeah, pick out your outfit for the next day, so when you get up, it's not a thought.
First thing I do when I go home is I take my lunch bag, I empty it out, I clean it, I get my lunch ready for the next day, and then I immediately go upstairs and I put my work clothes back on the hanger. If I'm not going to wash them, sometimes, you know, I'll reuse a suit every now and then.
Yeah.
And then I'll pick my suit for the next day, making sure that I don't make it similar to what I wore the day before.
Perfect.
So I try to the best that I can. That way in the morning when I get up, I don't have to worry about it.
Well, if you're trying to work out in the morning, too, if you don't lay out those workout clothes, I mean, that could be something that completely derails you, just the thought of having to go find, where are my workout clothes in order for me to do this in the morning?
Or you'll get to the gym and you'll be like, and I forgot socks, or that's the one time when you don't have the right sports equipment, like you forget a sports bra, or you forget your sneakers, things like that.
Confession, when I have to work out in the morning, sometimes I'll go to bed and already like a yoga pants and a shirt, and be like, all I have to do is then put on like one thing.
I can see Kara sleeping with her sneakers on.
Not the sneakers, but I'm like, yoga pants, pajama pants, same thing.
Get up, just get out of bed, you're ready to go.
Ready to go. But you also suggest writing things down.
Yes, so if you have a few things that you need to tackle the next day, especially if they're stressing you out, put together a game plan so that when you go to bed, you can actually fall asleep. A lot of times people have a hard time falling asleep because they're stressed. Right. Their brain is going a million miles a minute. They're thinking about that meeting the next morning, what they're going to say. So if you spend some time before you go to bed just making a solid plan for yourself, you'll actually fall asleep and stay asleep.
Yeah.
Okay, and speaking of sleep, turn off that technology.
Yes, that blue light.
So difficult because I'm always afraid something's going to happen to my mother in the middle of the night and she's not going to be able to get in touch with me.
Well, you could put on Do Not Disturb, but if your mom is a favorite, sure, her call would still come through.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
So there's ways to, I know what you mean. Sometimes you don't sleep well if you feel like you're completely disconnected if people are depending on you, but we really need to get away from that blue light.
Yes, and there's actually an alarm that you can set to let you know when it's time to get ready for bed. So give yourself about 30 to 45 minutes before you need to actually be asleep to kind of disconnect. So shut the TVs off, maybe spend some time with a book, do some reading, because more and more studies are coming out that really staying connected right up to the moment that you fall asleep is being linked with more negative emotions, which is also something that stinks. Like when you're going to bed and you're not super happy and you're not going to wake up feeling really great and refreshed the next day.
That's a great time for people who don't have time to meditate in the morning. That even doing that 5 minutes of mindfulness or meditation can really help them sleep better.
Mindfulness is a huge, huge deal. I mean, just getting in touch with yourself and just taking some time out to relax, it's big. It's a big component.
Yeah, the sleep hygiene is what we call it. We're really going to start to see more and more of a trend. It's becoming more and more popular. You're going to start to see people who are specializing in sleep therapy and Getting your sleep is so important to being successful the next day. That's when your body recovers and resets.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Kara, what do you get? 4 hours a night?
I aim for more than that. I need a lot of sleep.
I need like
I've
at
accepted it. Like
8
I
hours.
just need 8 hours.
I gotta have 8 hours.
I don't understand these people who can go on like 5 hours. I don't always
My
get
brother
it,
Jeff,
but I
he
need
can
it.
go on 5 hours. He's been doing it his whole life. I'm like, I can't believe his face isn't in the soup at this point. I'm like, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
All right, to learn more about Taylor and her team, you can visit fitnesstogether.com/Rocky Hill.
The studio is located on New Britain Avenue, right in Rocky Hill.